There we go. All right. Good evening. Wherever you feel the most comfortable, if you want to lie down on your back for a few minutes, do that. If you're comfortable sitting up in any way, shape, or form, do that. We'll start with a very short meditation. Whatever works for you. You know, the only reason really that lying down to meditate is not recommended is because what happens? You fall asleep, right? And then you're not meditating anymore, you're sleeping, which is fine too, but that's really the only reason. So please make yourself comfortable. If you do choose to sit up well, so you might need some props, some support. Once you get settled, close your eyes. And just bring your attention here. Bring your attention to this moment. It may run away, but then just bring it back again. Whether you're lying down on your back or sitting, bring your attention to the back of your body. And send your breath into the back side of your body. And this is just something that a teacher of mine told me once, and it stuck with me, but apparently, and I don't know how true this is, but the front of our bodies represent the individual self. Makes sense, there's our face, you can see who we are. The back side represents the universal self. Send your breath into the back of your body, allowing your ribs on the back of your body, especially to expand as you inhale your breath. So softening around the kidney area, a place where many of us get tight. Send your awareness to that part of your body. Stay full and soft and bright there. Keep a little tone in your abdomen, just ever so slight lift of the low belly. So it isn't your abdomen expanding forward and back as you breathe in. Rather, we're sending the breath up a little more into the diaphragm. And explore how much you can indeed expand your rib cage as you breathe in. And soften it as you breathe out, but without collapsing, without slumping in your posture. So use that fullness of the inhalation almost to support you as you empty out, and the ribs will knit back in slightly towards each other. Notice what's going on in your head as you become still. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. I want to do some yoga. Well, you're doing yoga. You might find, if you're getting a little bit successful with this exercise, that you're becoming more efficient with your breath. You may indeed be able to slow it down because you're doing a better job. We start to slow down our breath, and yet we're still doing a good job with it. You might notice your mind following suit. You might notice an overall sense of peace. This is what we're going for. Imagine doing this particular exercise. We're in the comfort of our home, so it's relatively easy depending on the number of distractions around you. But imagine doing this in like a busy subway station or something like that. You can. Imagine doing this. Well, I do this whenever I have to go to the dentist in a scary place. you can. And you can find some peace and find some comfortable joy, no matter what is going on around you. And let's keep that in mind. Softly open your eyes. All right, so we'll start moving. Come onto your hands and knees, please. Spread your fingers wide. Bring the center of your wrist lined up with the outside of your shoulder. So this may be a slightly wider hand position than normal. And turn your hands in or out so that they're facing straight ahead. Spread your fingers, press down through the hands. Roll your sit bones to the sky, chest forward, and inhale your breath fully. Exhale as you round your back, drop your chin, tail. Spread your shoulder blades apart. Again, inhale, the cow, a comfortable back bend, and exhale, the cat. Please continue at your own pace, enjoying your breath as you go. So there is no rush here. You might even notice how if you pay a little more attention to the breath itself, your body may move a little more comfortably. This is a tool we always have in our toolkit, always at our disposal. One more time, cat, cow. And then separate your knees a little bit wider and stretch your hips back into child's pose, fingers stretching forward. Head releasing down, and if it doesn't reach, don't force it. Put something underneath it, even if it's your elbows or that wouldn't be your elbows, it would be your wrists. Unless you're a contortionist. Here you can really feel the back of your body, the universal side. So as you breathe in, allow your back ribs to expand. Make it feel nice. Honestly, where you send your attention, energy flows there. Exhale, soften. Pay attention to how you're breathing. Pay attention to how your body feels and take care of yourself tonight. And let your back stretch out, loosen up a little bit. Good, bring yourself back up onto your hands and knees. We'll come into a downward dog. So your toes curl under, your sit bones lift slightly, and your upper back melts down just a little bit onto your upper back without collapsing the whole spine. So a little tone in the belly, and take that into your inversion, upside down pose. You can always do puppy dog if you need a little less upside downness here, but do stretch your arms straight, press your hands down and forward as you draw your sit bones up and back, or maybe even back and up. Sometimes I like to think back before up. Spread your toes and walk your feet out here, or ankles out one at a time. So you'll bend one knee, the other heel reaches to the floor, and switch it out. And back and forth, bending your toes, warming up your calves, your shins, the backs of your legs. Remember the importance of the breath. Use it to stay calm. Some of the postures tonight will be more challenging for you, right? That's when we want to go inside. That's when we want to find our own superpower. One more breath here in downward facing dog. Awesome. Come to all fours and lie on your stomach. Elbows under the chest or under the shoulders. Legs stretch long. There's a little internal rotation of the legs here just to come back to neutral. Oftentimes when we lie on our back, like the toes will split apart, the buttocks will tighten up real much, a lot. So inner thighs to the ceiling a little bit. And then just tiny tailbone in, just enough to feel some tone. Just a little spark in your abdomen. Chest forward, right from the hips as you stretch your legs back from that same place. Exhale, come all the way down and press up, hands and knees. Round back into child's pose for a few breaths, just to remind yourself, a little repetition. Breathe into the back ribs. Get the diaphragm moving. Inhale to all fours, curl the toes under, sit bones lift. Downward dog, so we're taking the natural curves of your spine into this inversion. That might mean bending your knees quite a bit here. Press the hands down and forward. Lift the undersides of the arms a little bit, just so there's no sagging in your shoulders. Exhale as you rock forward to plank here. Feel free to use any version of plank that suits you right now. Elbows, knees, hands and feet. Push into the floor. Imagine pushing the wall away with the soles of your feet and the opposite wall with the top of your head. Exhale, bring your knees to the floor, elbows back as you come forward and down. Reach your arms back behind you. Lengthen here through the sides of your body by bringing your shoulders a little bit closer to your ears. And then keeping that, draw the shoulders away from the floor. Stretch your spine long out of your hips as your legs stretch back in the opposite direction. A little tailbone down if needed, just so you feel your abdominals. They're there for you. Deep breath in. Full breath out all the way down to the floor. Rest head to one side, the legs flop out. Upside down, corpse pose. And then take that back up and in into child's pose. Stretch back, just one breath. Inhale. Exhale, all fours. Soften the upper back. Inhale, lift the sit bones, curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now this time, take your feet a little bit closer to each other. Keep your knees as bent as need be so you can keep the curves in your back and lift your right leg up. Just balance and breathe. If this is too much, you can certainly do this on hands and knees. Same idea, keeping your back nice and quiet. Bring your right leg down and bring your left leg up. Hips stay nice and stable. Bring your left leg down, rock forward to plank. Breathe. Exhale, knees to the floor, elbows draw back as you lie down on your stomach. For this one, reach your hands behind you and interlace your fingers right over your lower back or over your hips. Lengthen through the sides of your body. Take your shoulders away from the floor. Stretch your legs long. And right from your hips, stretch down into the toes and forward and out through the top of the head. You may straighten the elbows, but more important, keep your chest spreading broad, collarbones wide. Little tailbone down if need be, just so your lower back feels stable. Legs are strong. Breathe here, stay calm in the middle of the storm. Exhale all the way down and rest. Yes, everything does pass. Hands and knees. Child's pose, one breath. Inhale fully. Exhale it all out. Awesome, bring yourself back up, hands and knees. Check your spacing here, so center the wrist lined up with the outside of your shoulder. Index fingers pointing straight ahead, more or less, or a little bit out from there, but certainly not in. Curl your toes, stretch your hips back, sit bones to the sky, right leg up, inhale. This time, bring your right foot forward between your fingertips and lower your left knee down. Take as many steps as you need to so you can pretty much frame your front ankle with your hands. And so you don't want the foot way back and the hands way forward. And then make your legs strong. So hug into the center of your body, the midline of your body, by squeezing the outer shins a little bit in. Keeping that, roll your inner thighs slightly back and apart. Keeping all that, the tail moves slightly in, and how much? Just enough to feel a little tone in the abdomen. And bring yourself upright, and lift your chest up, and stretch up towards the sky. You can take a little more or less of a front knee bend, but manage the posture so that it's manageable. You're in charge of all the controls here. How's your breathing going? How's your attention? What's your overall sense of well-being? Exhale as you come back down, press back, downward facing dog pose. You could always substitute here, child's pose, or you could do puppy dog pose, or just simply hands and knees. Left leg lifts. Left leg steps forward, all the way up between your fingers, and the right knee comes to the mat. Engage your legs fully, squeeze in. Roll the inner thighs slightly back. Move the tail down as you lift your belly up. Take your chest up and lengthen through the sides of your body. Stay here or stretch your arms up, palms facing each other. Breathe. Decide how much you need, a little more, a little less. Exhale as you come down. Beautiful. Come back to all fours. Downward facing dog. Plank pose, inhale. Exhale, elbows back. Certainly put your knees down if need be. Stretch your toes. Legs are strong, so the shins hug in. The inner thighs roll slightly to the sky. You'll feel a little relaxation in your hips when you do that. Keeping that length in your tail. Baby cobra, so the hands are on the floor alongside the rib cage, but they're not pressing. They're just sort of helping you balance. Sides of the body stay long, shoulders move back, and you decide how much. Stay calm. Exhale as you lower all the way down and rest for a moment. Soften. Perfect. Bring yourself back up, hands and knees. One breath, child's pose. Inhale, all fours. Curl your toes under, shoulder blades on the back. Downward dog, or simply all fours. Right leg lifts, inhale. Right leg forward, exhale. This time, keep your left leg straight. So another version of the lunge. You can always elevate your hands up on something if you need to. So the front knee bends to a square, point straight ahead. Check that out. The top of the left thigh might want to drip or droop, so lift it up a little bit. Shins hug in towards your midline. Keeping that tail down very slightly, just enough to feel the belly. Lift and stretch long from the pelvis, down through the back leg, out through the bones of the front leg, and all the way up and out through the top of your head. Beautiful. Let's step back to all fours or down dog. Same thing on the other side then. Left leg up, inhale. Left leg forward, exhale. Frame the ankle with your fingertips, so it's a fairly long stance front to back. Pressing down through your front foot, all four corners. So we got the mound of the big toe, inside of your heel. Without losing that, we press to the outer 2 points, the mound of the little toe and the outside of the heel. Same thing with the back foot, even though the heel's lifted. Tail slightly down as you stretch through the leg bones and all the way up your spine. Inhale here. Exhale, step back to all fours or down dog. Take a breath in as you come to a version of plank. Exhale as you make your way down. Stretch your legs long. Hands alongside the rib cage. Lengthen the sides of the body. So this is a way to make more mobility for your shoulders. And when you make more mobility by bringing your shoulders toward your ears, you can more easily take them back. And now you've created more stability for your shoulders. Keeping that, drag your heart forward, stretch your legs back. Exhale, come forward and down. Rest. Press up hands and knees or push up to downward facing dog pose. Right leg lifts, inhale. Right leg forward, exhale. Same as before, top of the left thigh lifts. Outer right hip, that's your front leg. Squeeze it back and in towards your midline slightly. This will make your hips nice and stable. Tail moves in just a little bit so you can lengthen through your spine, stretch through your legs, and bring yourself up. Nice strong zipper action on the low belly rising. Tail reaching, armpits lifting, shoulders back. Stay here or stretch out or up. What suits you right now? Breathe. Just another version. Stretch for the front of the left hip and thigh. Good strength for the legs, stability for the hips. Little heart opener, there may be a little hint of a back bend in the upper part of your back. Exhale, fold back down. Lower the left knee and walk your hands up. We'll take another upright low lunge. Tail moves in slightly, just enough to feel the belly lift and draw up. Stretch the arms up, inhale. Now here, bring the arms out to the sides, so the palms facing forward or down, whatever feels best. But keep lifting up through the sides of your body. We're not collapsing here. Nice and tall. Keep your hips firming in towards your midline, and without turning your hips, turn your chest to the right. So it's a twist. Little tailbone lift, moving in, a little breastbone lifting up. Exhale, come back to center. Whew. Back to all fours or down dog. We'll do that on the other side, left leg up. Left leg forward, straight leg lunge for starters. Take your time. Top of the right thigh wants to sag, lift it up. Outer left hip wants to stick out, squeeze it in, pull it back. Move your tail in slightly, stretch forward through your spine as you stretch down through your legs and come up. Oh yeah, there we are. If you feel a lot of tension in the front of the hip, especially on your right leg, because that's doing a lot right now, feel free to bend your back knee, but keep your abdominal area zipping up nice and strong. Lengthen through the sides of your body so that you can take your shoulders back and stabilize them as you reach out through your fingertips. Deep breath in. Might be a little hint of a back bend developing in the upper part of your back, but stay full through that kidney area we talked about. Nice and bright and full. Exhale as you fold forward, lower the right knee down. Yeah, make your legs strong, bring yourself up again. Sides of the body long, shoulders back as you stretch up, and then arms out to the side. And really squeeze your outer shins in towards your midline. Keep lifting up through the sides of your body and rotate your chest to the left. Woo! So your hips still face forward. Nice twisting spine. Deep breath in, lift up. Stretch long through the bones of your legs and all the way up to the top of your head. Maybe even out through your fingertips. And then we'll fold forward. Wow. All fours or down dog. Take a breath. Take another breath in as you rock forward to plank, strong, stable. Exhale, come forward and down any way you need to. Stretch your legs long. Now we've done the Sphinx, we've done the locust, we've done the tiny cobra and the cobra. Choose one. Choose your medicine. And then release all the way down and rest. I love it. Hands and knees. Let's move back into child's pose for a moment here. Just take a few breaths. We'll get into a couple of standing poses. Already done a few standing poses. We'll do a few more standing poses. So from hands and knees, we'll stay with the course here. Soft between your shoulder blades. Keep a little tone in your abdomen so the spine doesn't collapse. Sit bones move back and up, right leg up, inhale. Right leg forward, exhale. Firm the legs. Tail, belly lift, tail down, belly up, chest up, stretch up, high lunge. And now arms out to the side, keep lifting up to the sides of the body. Draw your shoulder blades nice and flat on the back. And very important, keep your hips stable, abdominals lifting as you rotate your chest to the right. Squeeze your outer right hip, that's your front leg. Squeeze it back and in a little bit. Wonderful. Now stretch long through the bones of both legs. Reach your left arm forward. Bring your fingertips to the floor or a block inside your front foot. Take your right hand, your back hand, and put it on your front thigh for a moment. Push into the thigh to help you lift your belly up a little bit and turn your belly to the right. You can stay here or reach up to the right arm. Exhale as you untwist, face the floor. Second side, step back, down dog. Left leg up. You know everything's an option. Left leg forward. Make your legs sturdy and strong. Lengthen through your tail, bring it in a little bit if need be so the belly feels awake, and stretch up. Stretch long through the bones, tall through your spine, and keep that arms to the side. Firm the outer hips into the middle as you twist to the left. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. Hips are nice and stable, especially this front one wants to pop out. Wrap it in, nice strong glutes. Beautiful, keep all of that. Stretch your back leg long, reach your right hand forward. Use a block if you need to, inside your foot. Put your left hand on your thigh for a moment and push on your thigh to help lift your belly and engage strong. Spine stays as long as you twist and rotate to the left. Left arm can stretch up. Find your breath. Yeah, the storm's getting a little more exciting here. Stay calm. Find your inner peace. One more breath. Beautiful. Look down, touch down, step back, down dog, child's pose, whatever works for you right now. Rock forward to plank, any version. Come all the way down to lie on your stomach. Draw your shoulder blades together and down your back as you reach your chest forward, stretch your legs back. So think from somewhere in the middle of your body from your hips, you stretch down through both legs, out through the toes, and all the way up to the center of your body, upper palate, crown of the head, shoulders release away from the ears, belly tones, and then release all the way down. So you're just exploring where you can go. And then press back into child's pose for just a few breaths. So a deeper version of the pose is not always the best thing, but how you approach that is how you go deeper, right? So just being more aware, more conscious, and willing to back off or modify is how we go deeper, really, into ourselves. It's how we stay tuned in with what keeps us healthy and also peaceful. Please come to your hands and knees, spread your fingers wide, curl your toes on your sit bones, lift up and back, right leg up, inhale, right leg forward, exhale, turn to the left for warrior two pose, and adjust your stance, maybe a little longer front to back. Press into the outside edge of your back foot, bend your front knee, keep the tops of your thighs moving back, and your right buttock moving underneath you. Make a really nice connection to your midline. Your spine stays vertical. Stretch the arms. Lengthen all the way up through the top of your head even. And the throat might need to move ever so slightly back so your center of your skull is right over the center of your body. And then turn your head to the right. You'll know if you've got it, it feels right. Feels good. Lift your back heel, rotate to face the floor, and we'll switch sides. You can go down dog, left leg up or not. Warrior two pose. Press into the outside edge of your back foot. Bend your front knee. Keep the tops of your thighs moving back, tail in slightly, just enough to feel your abdominals tone. Spine is vertical. Neck is long and head is right over the body, which sometimes means moving your head a millimeter or two back. And turn and look left. Lift your back heel, look down at the floor. Come to all fours. Take your knees a little wider and rest, child's pose. Inhale, all fours. Come forward to lie on your abdomen. Stretch your legs long, spread your toes, inner thighs up, tail down, shoulders back, locust pose. Lift the legs if that feels good. Strong work for the back of your body. Adjust your neck, no overarching of the neck. Just a few more breaths. Beautiful, all the way down and rest. And give yourself a couple of breaths here. Excellent. And then bring yourself back up to all fours. And let's go into the low lunge again. So we'll bring the right leg forward. The left knee will be on your mat. Engage outer shins into the midline so you feel some good tone on the inner thighs. Firm your outer hips in a little bit and take your tailbone in slightly as you lift up. Remember, left front hip tends to pop out to the side and get a little lazy, so squeeze in, pull back. This will also help you keep your hips nice and level and square. Lift the sides of your chest, take your shoulders onto your back as you stretch up. Arms out to the side, keep the lift of the side body, rotate your chest to the right. Hips are super strong. And we're gonna take the left arm, whether it's your elbow or your tricep, or maybe your hand, to the outside of your right thigh. Okay, so a little forward fold. As you fold forward, remember to keep lengthening through the spine. So you may wanna reach forward first with your left arm, and then place the hand or the elbow or whatever you can reach onto the outside of the leg. Before we go any further, take your right hand and put it on your right thigh here to push into your thigh to get the belly to lift. You can even move it out of the way if it's in the way with your hand, and then place your right hand on top. Now, if this is too much in the prayer position, you could be here, hand on thigh, right hand on lower back or hip. Press into the palms, lift the sides of the chest, take the shoulders back, keep your hips strong, and rotate your chest to the sky. Another version here would be curl the back toes under and lift your left knee off of the floor. One more breath in, big twist. Exhale, slowly lower down. Nice job. Second side. Whew, all fours. Shake it off. This time the right leg will be the back leg. So left foot forward, by default. Firm your inner thighs. Firm your outer hips. Take your tail in slightly and lift up. Good support and stability for the hips and the low back. Lift through the sides of the body, shoulders back. Good support and stability for the shoulder girdle. Stretch up. Could always be here, bent elbows. This is a really nice go-to position if you've got some shoulder stuff and the arms don't want to go overhead that much, or wider can help. Arms out to the side, but keep the lift of the chest and the length in the sides of the body. Keep the outer hips nice and firm as you rotate. This is not easy. Twist your chest, but not your hips. Keep the legs strong. Reach forward with your right arm and take what you can to the outside of your left knee. Sometimes the knee wants to roll in to help you get it there, but keep pressing the leg into your hands. You're keeping the hip strong and the knee pointing forward. Press with the left hand on the thigh to help lift your abdomen slightly and rotate your chest to the left. Both shoulders stay back. Any version here, you can do Anjali Mudra, the heart gesture, palms together, or one hand on your hip, one hand on your thigh. Lengthen from your hips right out through the bones of your legs and all the way up and out through the top of your head. Wow, strong work. Gently release. Come back to face the floor, both legs back. And you choose, do a down dog or a child's pose. What's going to feel best for you right now? Find your breath, find your inner calm. Find your superpower. Find your birthright. So I kind of think that this peaceful state of mind is, I don't know, I feel funny using that word birthright because sometimes we feel entitled, right? Like whoever skied down superstar today had some feeling of entitlement, I guess. But I'm not letting it get to me. So it's not entitlement. It's just a natural state of peace. Well done. Okay. We'll come forward to lie on your stomach. We'll stretch your legs nice and long. We'll bring your right forearm to the floor. Have the forearm parallel to the front edge of the mat. Just a little support for a slight chest lift. Tail moves down slightly just to monitor the abdominals are engaged and the left knee bends. And you can do that a few times. You have my left hand here, so I have a tendency to be very flexible in my lower back and a little tight in the front, a little tight, that's an understatement, in the front of the hip. So I'm making sure that the hips stay stable as I bend the knee and straighten the knee. You may think that's no big deal, but for me, that's a real big deal. Tailbone moves down, bend the knee, keep it there. Reach your left arm back, turn the arm out so your shoulder blade comes nice and flat on your back. If you can reach the ankle or the toes, great, go for it. Chest turns back to the left. Oh, sorry, that's the right. And you can stay right here and just enjoy the thigh stretch or push the foot into the hand to help stretch your chest out a little bit. Stay strong in your abdomen, your core. Gently lower down and keep your leg slightly engaged as you release the foot and lower the leg down. Shake the legs out. Switch the arms out, left in front. You can hold your hip if you're wondering how you're doing there. Zip the belly, tail down just enough. Legs stay strong as you bend the right knee and straighten the knee. So do that 3 or 4 times. It's just like a little a primer, if you will. Waking up your hamstring muscles, bend the knee. Keep it there. If you can hold it, don't force it. Tail moves down, you're gonna have to work very strong there. Shoulder moves back and stay low or come a little higher by engaging and pushing the foot into your hand. So we have a half bow pose. Well done, release back down, gently release the foot and just shake it out. Let your forehead rest on your wrists or turn your head to one side or the other. Let your legs splay. Beautiful. So you're gonna bring yourself up onto your hands and knees and turn around, have a seat on your mat. If you have a belt handy or something like that, a strap, anything at all, a towel, have it nearby. Maybe a block 2. Okay. There's one little way I like to sometimes do boat pose. I'm gonna do boat pose. You can also do boat pose with a strap. We'll do it a couple times because it's such a good pose. You put the block behind you, you firm your belly and lift up and just tilt back just until you touch it. And you're not leaning against it. I had to move it a little bit closer because you don't want to feel unstable. You want to still be able to lift up through the spine and then walk your feet in and come to balance. So rounding out much. The abdominals are lifting, the spine is lifting. If you're holding your legs, that's fine. You can even push your legs into your hands a little bit. Another version would be to take a belt on the feet and push your feet into the belt. That block, it's tempting to lean back into it, but it's just there as a little reminder not to let your lower back round out. Come back down and rest, or up and rest, I should say. And we'll do another version. Another nice way to go, if you have something you could squeeze between your legs, that can be helpful, and rock back. Arms can release if you're feeling steady, but keep the length. We've been working on that. Keep the shoulders on the back, and the legs could even straighten. We're almost there, just a few more breaths. And then slowly bring yourself down onto your back. So just lie down there, rest. Might want to do a few rounds of pelvic tilts, flattening your low back curve, letting it return back to some space, and flatten and space, or whatever feels good. Knees to chest, rock and roll. We're going to do one more back bend here just to stretch a little more through the front of the legs and the front of the hips. So we'll do bridge pose. Placing your feet on the floor, about sitting bones distance apart and parallel to each other. And bring them in, so you want pretty vertical shin bones here. And the elbows will go to your sides like this. So elbows press down. This is just going to make it easier for you to get your shoulders back. And the center of your skull presses down. And the feet press down, but we're still on the floor here. We want to find the natural curve of your lower back. So the inner thighs go towards the floor slightly, keeping that lumbar curve. The tail moves in slightly, just so you feel your abdominals. All of that stays in place as we come up with the hips. You don't have to lift the hips super high here, but do press down with the center of your skull. Think where your upper palate would be, the soft upper palate, pressing down into the floor. This helps keep a nice curve in your neck. Keep the bones of your neck healthy. The chest can lift. The knees can stretch forward a little more. Interlace your hands if you like underneath your back. Just a few more breaths. Feel the work for the back of your body, the backs of your thighs, your buttocks. All the spinal muscles alongside your back, both sides. Not all of them, but lots of them. And then to come out of it, just lower down, find your natural curve in your lower back. And rest your legs for a moment. Good work, yogis. Once your back feels rested, go ahead and stretch it out a little bit, something comfortable, usually a nice little hug around your knees or a happy baby. Sometimes it feels really nice to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. We're going to do a little bit of stretch for the hips, the outsides of the hips, insides of the hips, and the back of the thigh, just to make sure we've hit all the spots. And we walk out of here feeling like $1,000,000. So if you have a belt, grab it. We'll hook the sole of the right foot around the ball of the foot and stretch the foot vertically, or the leg vertically. You could also just hold the back of the thigh with two hands, interlace your fingers. Adjust your lower back so it's not cat or cow, it's right in the middle. And then the left leg, if it's available to you, straightens out as well. Shoulders relax. Neck is nice and long. And just find your edge. Maybe the leg comes a little closer, but keep grounding down through the top of the left thigh bone. Keep your abdominals firing and even turning a little bit to the left just to keep that hip bone down. Keep the top of your thigh bone down. You can walk your hands a little closer to the foot if that feels right. A few more breaths. you're using a belt, just take both pieces of the belt into your right hand and open your leg out to the right. Put your elbow on the floor to give it some support, because you really just want to go to where you feel the stretch on the inside of the leg. That's going to be enough. And zip up your low belly, turn it back to the left. So we've got right leg out to the right and belly turning slightly to the left. This will keep you grounded and solid. Exhale fully. Don't hold on to anything you don't need. And you can bring your awareness into that place we started with, moving into the back of your body, the kidney area. Super healthy for your thoracic spine, the middle of your back. Inhale, bring your leg back to the center now. Take the belt in your left hand or have your left hand on the inside of the leg. As you exhale, move the leg over and across your body. How far? It depends. You're looking for something on the outside of the hip and thigh. Once you've found that, pause there. Zip up your belly and turn it back to the right slightly so that you can lengthen all the way up to the top of your head and turn your chest back to the right. You want your right arm on the floor, maybe even your shoulder on the floor. Send your awareness where you feel the sensation, outer hip and thigh, maybe the entire right side of your body, maybe deep into the bones of your spine, maybe your abdominal organs. Definitely a twist in the belly here. Maybe we need to soften a little more through the back ribs, and so we can find our peace. Inhale, bring your leg back up. Exhale, take the strap off, lower the leg down, and just rest for a moment. Oh yeah. So simple, but so effective. Let's get ready to do the other side. I like to put the belt on the ball of the foot, but you can sometimes put it on your heel too. That can feel really nice. And stretch your knees straight, or whatever that means for you. Adjust your lower back so it's not overly arching or overly flattening. And then the right leg, you can decide if that stretches out too. Find your comfortable edge, something that you can deal with using your power of awareness, of breath, attention, and presence. Exhale fully. Find some space between your thoughts here, where the sky clears, even if it's temporary. Always that hope. And now the belt comes into your left hand, or the left hand supports the outside of the thigh. And we open out just enough to feel the stretch on the inside of the leg. Doesn't have to go that far oftentimes. And the abdominal zipper zips up and turns back to the right to keep you solid, grounded on the floor on the right hand side. Feel the work in your legs, in your core. Feel the work with your mind and your attention. You're still basically doing a meditation here. It's one of the things I love about yoga. It's not just yoga. You can do this anytime, right? But this is where we can really practice it, as opposed to just like lifting weights or whatever. Ideally, we want everything to be a bit of a meditation. Inhale, bring your leg back up. Bring it across your body for the twist. Notice what you feel as you go. Find just the right degree and zip the belly up, turn it back to the left slightly. Make it easier to rest your left arm down. Whatever arm position is right for your shoulder. Your chest can open, and sometimes we get tight here through the kidney area. Soften back into the universe. I don't know about you, but this feels like a very important thing to be doing right now. Wow. Super. Inhale, bring your leg back up. Exhale, release it down. Relax your legs for a moment. Good work. Okay, so now we'll bend the knees again. Adjust your hips so you're in neutral. Right ankle crosses over left knee. Right knee widens off to the right, but we're not pushing it. We're just turning it out with your buttocks, your glutes. And then the legs come in for a stretch. So a little more targeted deep into the buttocks. And to kind of keep the same position of your foot here now, take your right hand, reach the wrist over the ankle and hold the little toe side of your foot. Okay. Lie back, sole of the foot faces the sky. Happy baby, one half of a happy baby, just a half of a baby. It's like a half a chicken. You could stay here or maybe stretch the left leg straight. That's pretty intense. Maybe that's not needed. I like to do these one side at a time sometimes because you notice when you do both sides together, there's usually one side that's a little stronger, one side that's a little more flexible, or vice versa, and this sort of makes up for the other side. It's like the siblings that don't tattletale on each other. Okay, right leg comes down, rest. Whew. Yeah, bend your knees. All right. Left ankle up, turn the thigh out, flex the foot, draw in until you feel it. You could hold the shin, you could hold the back of the thigh. Maybe none of that's needed. You could even just elevate your foot on a block or something like that. Foot against the wall helps sometimes if this is really tight. Should have told you that on the other side. Better late than never. Nice, and now the right foot comes down. Just push my block out of the way. And the left wrist, it comes over the shin, front of the ankle, and holds the little toe side of the foot. Foot faces the sky. Half happy baby. Stay here or stretch your right leg out. Calm, smooth, fluid breathing. Soften through the back body. Soften your face, your eyelids. And the left foot comes down and the left leg stretches out. And then maybe you want to do a little rounding of your back or a little circling of the knees, anything that helps sort of set you back to neutral. Get rid of any tension in your hips and your lower back, anywhere at all. Just do what feels right. We're going to spend the last 5 minutes together here in corpse pose. So once you feel ready, you can adjust your body so that you can lie comfortably on your back. Honestly, it doesn't have to be on your back. It's just traditionally done on your back. You may have to scoop your buttocks under or do the opposite, get a little more space underneath your lower back. You may have to draw your shoulder blades slightly towards each other to open your chest. Change your arm position as need be so your chest can be nice and open, heart full. Adjust your skull. Use any props under your legs, under your body. Eventually close your eyes, settle in and relax. Maybe you're chilly, maybe you want to put some cover on. Take care of yourself. So corpse pose, Shavasana. We do this at the end of the class to help you find deep peace. And you know, when someone passes, we all often say, well, may they rest in peace, honestly, right? Let's learn how to rest in peace without dying. Wouldn't that be awesome? We'll practice right now. Soften your back body. Relax your hips, joints of your hips, your buttocks, your legs, all the way down into your ankles, toes. Relax your shoulders. Your arms, your hands and fingers. Relax from your heels all the way at the back of your body to the base of your skull, deep into the neck where your skull meets the top of your spine. Over the top of the head into the forehead, the eyes, nose, cheeks, and mouth. Deep into the hinge of your jaw. Down the front of your body to your belly. Soft like a little squishy newborn baby. To the groins, pelvic floor. All the way down to the tops of your toes. May you rest in peace. I ran a little short on time, so normally I'd have you stay a few minutes longer, and feel free to, but if you would like to move on, keep this going. Move slowly. Wake up your body. How much? Just enough. So you can control it as you bend your knees and pull to your side. Use your fingertips on the floor to press up and take a seat. Eyes can still be closed unless you need to see something. Take a seat that honors really you, yourself. So sit up well. Bring your attention deep inside. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart. And gently bow your head to the chest. from this wellspring of peace, no matter how elusive it is from time to time, deep inside me, I see and honor that same place in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, you guys.
That was great.